Hey everybody, it's MLoveizm TV. I'm your host, Melissa Leslie Quinones, and I am here with
MissTerious Genetics.
Yes, and we are going to get into her amazing poetry and what she's doing currently. How about you tell our audience a little bit about your background growing up and how that formed you into the poet that you are today?
My mom had a lot of trouble with me when she was pregnant with me. She had toxemia. She was on pretty much on her deathbed, and I was losing weight inside of her body, and so she was bedridden, and it was difficult. Both of our lives were at stake, and so that just already tells me that the enemy wasn't very content about me coming into this earth and what my purpose was. It was difficult just kind of growing up with an absent father in the beginning, and then with him coming in, it became a serious situation with just his alcoholic abuse, his drug abuse, and because of that, I ended up being in a position where I was molested. It was very hard for me, and physically abused as well. Thank God I had a great foundation. Growing up, I had to learn my Beatitudes. I had to learn my books of the Bible. I had to really understand the stories of the Bible. Because those lessons were instilled in me, I was able to have the Word of God present in me when those things were going on. So even though I was 8 years old or 9 years old, I had that spiritual warfare going on, but I knew how to fight.
So do you think that bleeds into your poetry, or what do you mainly want to speak about when you're doing poetry? Do you write it, or you just go?
We know when you're talking about some nonsense. We know when people are faking it. We know when people are saying oh, I know what it's like to go through, but you haven't really necessarily gone through. I thank God for those experiences simply for the simple fact that I can be a voice and I can speak from a place of true compassion and true understanding.
Is there a most memorable response from your audience? You're just wow, you can hold on to that and share it with people.
For me, the most memorable moment was when I first began to start really coming out and sharing my full testimony, and a man actually came to me. He said his name was Kool-Aid, and he said, thank you so much for sharing your testimony, because nobody knows that happened to me. He said, and I was being molested by 2 of my brothers on a daily basis. Told my mom, and my mom didn't do anything. So one day I woke up and I shot everybody. It not only blew me away in the aspect of I have to continue to do what I do, because maybe it'll encourage somebody to speak out about something, but I didn't expect for men to respond, and that's one thing that we probably don't think about it. I think it's probably even harder for a man to probably come out and say, this happened to me.
How did you know that you knew that you were called to do what you're doing today?
The reason why I knew is because I sought the Lord about it. And I really continue to seek Him on a regular basis, because sometimes we think that because this is our specific ministry, that this is the only thing that we're called to do. I'm a poet, so this is what I'm called to do, so that's it. No, God has called us to ministry, period. For example, sometimes we want to give and we want to go overseas into different countries and feed people and all that, but there may be somebody living right next door to you who does not have any food, where you could go in your refrigerator and be like, look, I know you're struggling, but let me hold you down. My goal in my heart is that I just want to serve in every capacity that I possibly can.
In the piece, I Will Wait For You, it kind of reminds me of the saying, a woman should be so lost in God that a guy has to seek Him to find her. Mm-hmm. So can you kind of explain how that piece came to light?
Yeah, it just started as a journal entry where I was just talking to God and being real with Him and sharing my heart. Lord, I am single, I am pushing up there in the age, just wondering, is it going to happen without me having to settle? Because that's what I've done in the past. Are you saved? You go to church regularly? Great, we can start something. We'll start right there, and then I'll help you along the way. And and I think it can reach everybody on different demographics, because a lot of us desire to be in relationships.
What would your advice be for women that are out there just I don't even think it's going to go down?
Oh, there's so much that we can do that we probably won't be able to do as a married woman. Primarily because that our ministry is going to be to our husband, our ministry is going to be within our family. So right now, we can dedicate so much more even to just the ministry. I think that the word is very specific when it says that, when it talks about the man finding a good wife, that's our first mistake sometimes, because we're always on the search, we're always on the prowl. That's not even our job. We have a job of selection, but you know what I'm saying, every opportunity, don't look at it as an opportunity that you might meet somebody.
So where can people online go to find out more about you, your Facebook, website, things that are coming up that we need to know about, like this album?
If if you'd like to see the piece, you can just definitely YouTube I Will Wait For You. You can type in genetics, and that'll bring up that piece and probably a few other pieces. I would encourage people to definitely check out some of the other P4CM poets as well, because they're phenomenal. As far as personally, the website will be MissTerious Genetics, and no crazy spelling to that, just spell MissTeriousGenetics.com, and there's an album coming out entitled Misfit. And Misfit is just simply be content with who God created you to be, and that's the heart of Misfit. That single will be dropping on iTunes along with I Will Wait For You, and the album will be coming up shortly following that. And check me out on Facebook at Genetics Equals Genetics. And I would love to hear from all of you. This is really primarily not about me. This is about God's ministry. I want to push God's name to the forefront. So if you're about that, dude, definitely, let's link up.
In a world full of just uncertainty and the economy going as it is, how do you as an artist and as an individual fill in the blank?
I have one life, and I'm filling the blank because I'm willing to do whatever I have to do to continue to commit to what God's will is in my life, so that it can be purposeful in other people's lives.
All right, everybody. I'm your host, Melissa Leslie Quinones, and we are here with MissTerious Genetics. So make sure you check out all of our links, and we'll have that below. This is MLoveizm TV. Fill in the blank.
That you gon' run up in this kingdom just because you know someone? What you think? You think all the work you put in got your name on the list? Yo, it's not. What you think? Well, you's an usher, you's a singer, you's a pastor, and so? No, it's not. What you think? Say it again. No, it's not.